Oh, hi there, Dan Amrich, Community Manager for Activision, once again here for an episode of One of Swords TV, where you write in a question to YouTube at oneofswords.com, and I try to answer it. And I have a bit of trash talk to deal with this week from a guy named sodagumx, guy, girl, I actually don't know your gender, sorry, but regardless, your point is valid, and here is your point. I hate Skylanders. I am glad that Activision seems to be removing Spyro's name from this, since they are not real Spyro games, really. They just duct-taped him into it, and he has never been the star of this thing. You don't even notice he's on the box. Is the old Spyro ever going to come back? You know, the one from PlayStation 1 era, that doesn't make him look like a purple demon from hell that was beaten with an ugly stick. I know I'm not the only one that thinks this, and I was put off by Skylanders and just wanted a good Spyro game. Hell, I would even take the Legend of Spyro version again, and I thought that version was pretty ugly too, but at least it kind of looked like Spyro and had decent gameplay. Skylanders is like the Bomberman Act Zero of Spyro games, where you play it and you're left wondering if there's any Spyro left in it, and you're not sure if that purple demon is Spyro. I know Spyro games quality is not the best ever since the PlayStation trilogy stopped, but I was hoping they would make a good game again that would get near Nintendo and Ratchet & Clank and Jak and Daxter levels of quality. Can't they put out a Spyro game for the older people who played the old ones and want another one? Well, I see what you're getting at here. Couple of things to keep in mind. Skylanders really was built and designed for not you. I mean, you're just going to have to accept that at this point. Skylanders is built for gamers that are currently between about 8 and 12 years old. That's the target market. Obviously, it can appeal, and it does appeal, to older gamers as well. I really enjoy it. I kind of think of it as Diablo Jr. You know, it's an action-adventure with RPG elements where you build up your character and stuff. And it happens to star Spyro, and it has Cinder in it. You know, the first game definitely was banking on Spyro's reputation. They called it Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. You may not realize that the game actually was in development as Spyro's Kingdom, where it was very Spyro-centric originally, where Spyro was the ruler of Skylands, and he was the guy who was giving you, like, missions to go do on his behalf, but you didn't actually play as Spyro. And the team, I think, wisely realized that that wasn't very much fun, to make a game called Spyro, and then not actually have Spyro as the playable character. I think that went against expectations. As you point out, there have been many Spyro games before. There's the PlayStation 1 ones, there's the PlayStation 2 era, there's the Legend of Spyro, and the Legend of Spyro games did kind of grow with the audience, right? The original Spyro the Dragon games were similar to Skylanders. I see them as they appealed to young gamers, but they also were a lot of fun for older gamers as well. The Legend of Spyro games, as that audience got older into their teens, they wanted to make something a little edgier and darker and stuff like that. And, you know, some people really love those games. Some people feel like that wasn't their version of Spyro. I mean, I heard these kind of complaints long before Skylanders. But ultimately, when it came time for Skylanders, they decided, let's hit the reset button, let's start all over, let's create a new franchise, let's have Spyro be part of that franchise. So, you know, I feel like you're missing the point of what Skylanders is. You saw Spyro and said, I know what that game's going to be, and you went in with preconceived notions, and then when your personal expectations were not met, then you got angry and held it out on the game because they redesigned what Spyro looks like, who, in fact, is very attractive to little kids. Like, kids like Spyro because he looks like a little badass dragon. It's totally cool that it doesn't appeal to you, but there's probably a lot of things that are designed for 6-year-olds and 10-year-olds that don't appeal to you. So you kind of have to put it in perspective. Is this game for you? No. What this game really does very, very well is give kids that don't normally have their own game, the same way the original Spyro games appealed to a younger demographic. Now the people that loved the original Spyro are old enough to play Call of Duty, and old enough to play anything they want because they're in their late teens. So you can still enjoy the old Spyro games, but you have to respect that the next generation of gamers has very little that they can connect with the way that you connected with Spyro when you were 8 years old. So that's what the Skylanders franchise, with and without Spyro, in the title, kind of represents to the modern generation. It's their game. Let them have their game. Don't be angry and don't be like, I want an old Spyro game. If you want an old Spyro game, you can buy them as downloadables on PlayStation Network. You can get all those old games in stores, in used bins, or as digital downloads. The old Spyro is not dead and gone, but I will tell you this, that the developers of the original Spyro, Insomniac, the CEO, Ted Price, actually said on the record that he really liked Skylanders because of that very thing, that he thought it was a great way to bring Spyro back and to introduce him to a new generation, and his kids really enjoyed it. So all I can say is don't live in the past too long, accept Skylanders for what it is, which is a really great game for the kids of today, and go on and find something new, and if you like the old Spyro games, you are welcome to continue playing them. They're excellent. If you have a question for me about Activision or Activision games or whatever, send it to YouTube at oneofswords.com. I'll do my best to address it on a future show. In the meantime, go to oneofswords.com. That's where I have all the information that I have ever collected about anything that is relevant, but that includes giveaways and podcasts and things you might enjoy. Thanks for watching. See you next time.